Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. That's depending where you are in the world. I'm in London. I'm doing the nighttime devotion from the devotional Christ Triumphant. We had a wonderful Sabbath. I hope you did too. And we are celebrating the end of the 5th month of the year of 2025. We're entering the last month of the first half of the year. That would be June, the 6th month. The title today: Prosperity sometimes causes spiritual downfall. Ecclesiastes 2 verse 11. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought, and on the labour that I had laboured to do. And behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. Solomon wrote the book of Proverbs, but after a time his wisdom became mingled with chaff. Whence came the chaff? After a manhood of such glorious promise, a change came in Solomon's history. He did not continue true to his purity and allegiance to God. He broke through the barriers that God had erected to preserve his people from idolatry. The Lord had singled out Israel as a nation, making them the depositories of sacred truth to be given to the world. But Solomon cherished pride of political powers. He encouraged alliances with pagan kingdoms. In the early part of his reign, Solomon was visited by the Queen of Sheba. She came to see and hear his wisdom. And after she had heard him, she said that the half had not been told her. But his wise and strictly just reign changed. He who had known God and the truth made a great outlay of means to please his godless wives. He made expensive gardens. God's money, which should have been held sacred to help the poor among the peoples, as God directed, was absorbed by the king's ambitious projects. It was diverted from its original channel. The suffering ones were not given houses and food and clothing as God had specified that they should be given. By his extravagant outlay of means, Solomon sought to please his wives and glorify himself. Thus he used the means that had been abundant and brought a heavy taxation upon the poor. His moral efficiency was gone, as the power is gone from a paralytic. He made an effort to incorporate light with darkness, to serve God and mammon. He felt at liberty to experiment in wild license, but Belial and purity could not mingle, and the course the king pursued brought its own penalty. He separated from God, and the knowledge of God departed from him. People who have the use of money are to learn a lesson from the history of Solomon. Those who have a competence are in continual danger of thinking that money and position will ensure them respect, and they need not be so particular. But self-exaltation is but a bubble. By misusing the talents given him, Solomon apostatized from God. When God gives people prosperity, they are to beware of following the imaginations of their own hearts, lest they endanger the simplicity of their faith and deteriorate in religious experience. So that title again, prosperity sometimes causes spiritual downfall. And as has been previous, it focuses on Solomon, once known as the wisest man of all time ever, who then apostatized from God, becoming not so wise. And it focuses on what he was doing with the funds and the means he was blessed with by God. These funds and means he was supposed to be helping the poor, housing them, feeding them, clothing them. And yet he chose to house his wives, build expensive projects, gardens and whatever else. And the suffering ones were not given their houses or food or clothing, which God had directed him to do. And in fact, it says he ended up taxing them. Why is he taxing them when he's the richest man in the world, so to speak, at that time? His moral efficiency was gone. And it goes today as well. It makes me laugh, in fact, when there are charities advertising on TV, on social media, and they pay for this advertising. They're advertising these charities so that we can help in these poor, stricken countries and stricken people, or sponsor a panda or some of these animals in danger. Sponsor a child in one of these countries that's stricken by these man-made wars or rumors of wars, some of them not even real wars. And we are being asked to give to help these people. And yet you've got billionaires in this world, just giving 2% of what they've got each would house, feed, clothe everyone that's poor. Yet these charities are paying to advertise to get money from us. This is the world we live in. And I know I digress. But some of these people, if you look at some of these pastors, church leaders, these TV people, you've got their jets and big cars, etc. And yet some people in their church can't afford a loaf of bread. Prosperity causes spiritual downfall. If you're not wise with the blessing God gives you of money and clothing and means, if you're not wise with it, if you are not generous with it, and I'm not saying generous to all and anyone that comes to you, I'm talking about generous to those that need. Seek out those who need it and help them. And don't be like a Pharisee where you make sure everyone sees, like you get the people, you get the likes of, what's her name? Oprah Winfrey, who just makes sure all the news and all the PR and everything knows that she's giving to a children's home, or she's giving cars to these people, or she's giving this or giving that. They get tax breaks for all that. They don't have to pay tax and all that kind of money, and it saves them money. I'm talking about people that will give freely from their own bank account to the people in need. Love thy neighbour as thyself. Your neighbour who needs bread, who needs milk, who needs eggs, who needs clothing, who needs a roof over their head. Bless them, give to them. Love your neighbour as thyself. That is a commandment.